Hi there, folks. This is Jenny Leigh Flurry, the Chief Accessibility Officer at Microsoft, and I am pleased and thrilled to be with you today. I know that this event has not taken the physical shape and form of past years' events, and I'm actually sitting in my garden recording this, so you may hear birds and other animals in the distance here in Seattle. It's definitely been a fascinating year, but I think if there's any learning from this year, it's that accessibility has never been more important. We've definitely seen that at Microsoft. When we moved into this new mode very quickly at the beginning of March here in Seattle, and I know every other state moved in shortly after that, we did have to really flick a gear ourselves as employees, and also as custodians of the accessibility and really the owners of things like Disability Answer Desk and some of the forums that some of you will know and love. Within a few weeks, Disability Answer Desk, which is our free support desk for folks with disabilities, which is celebrating its almost 8th year coming in, that it's been in existence, taken over 1 million calls. We got a groove with Disability Answer Desk with Dad. But very quickly, we received way over 200% of volume from folks reaching out to us wanting to learn more about technology that they could use at home to work, to play, to educate children, as we assume the roles of educators, as well as power up other family members. A very humbling time. And I do think that while we were able to help so many folks with that onboarding, in fact, we went on and are still producing a lot of content with this frame. We just literally, even in the last few days, published a series of webinars to assist folks who are blind, low vision, who are deaf, to drive inclusive content and collaboration. And we'll continue to do that. What we have also learned is that there's also opportunities for us and a lot of features and additional bugs that we're continuing to progress. Of all the scenarios that we have tested for, we didn't test for a global pandemic. And so the learning that we're taking from this, we are aggressively and quickly moving forward with. But I do think in some ways, the work that we've been doing in advance of this, not knowing this was coming, has helped us. Accessibility is a priority at Microsoft. It has been for many years, and even more so in the last 5, as we re-engineered accessibility to be very focused on listening, breathing, consuming, using your insight, your wisdom, your thoughts, your needs, and making sure that those drive our priorities. That meant that we infused it and we pushed on certain efforts to drive more people with disabilities into the company, and we have a very systematic framework for that. We also made sure that as we think about non-technical areas like our marketing and communications, we thought about representation of disability, real, authentic representation of disability in our Super Bowl ads, in our presence externally. We really drove core accessibility into all of our frameworks, all of our products, websites, and services. And while I would never claim perfection, there's definitely been some real tangible growth, improvement, and delivery of a higher bar than ever before. And then I think really focusing in on some of the core products. And I do love that this work never stops. There are some amazing improvements coming and are already out within our core platform Windows. And I do want to sort of linger on these for a second, because the goal here is always about making Windows easier to use, easier to see, easier to manipulate and personalize for each individual use. So simple things have a very big impact here, making bigger, brighter mouse pointers, new defaults for magnifier settings, and smoother interactions when you opt to keep the mouse pointer centered on the screen, making narrator easier to learn, consolidating all of those settings into one new narrator home so it's easier to access quick start, user guides, and setting. And then making narrator itself more natural and responsive. improving the way it handles common phrases, reducing the number of times it pauses mid-sentence, just the succinctness of data, options to control what narrator says, and responsiveness with Word and Outlook and other parts of our ecosystem, as well as adding support for Chrome. So you have a choice of browsers and the ability to move by sentence when navigating text, and reading commands seamlessly and consuming content using scan mode. Just some of the many, honestly, feedback that you've given us that's turned into improvements within our products, as well as investing in future. And I think future is where we can change paradigms, change attitudinal barriers, change feasibly just the pragmatics of doing day-to-day work. I think everyone knows about Seeing AI. That has now taken 25 million images and continues to grow in scope and languages. And then we're also investing in areas like Soundscape, which has been a continual investment for us, which just announced French compatibility as it grows with the global nature of what we do. And then research projects like Project Tokyo, which is using the power of AI and AR. So imagine a HoloLens, which goes on top of your head, and it allows you to hear by using automatic recognition who is in the room, where they are, where they're positioned, any expressions on faces. And I want to give you the example because the research team has really been exploring this with simple situations like dinner tables and a Thanksgiving dinner, where you can have a big table with a lot of people around it, a lot of people getting up and down, and the social nuances can be tough to learn, particularly for kids with blindness and low vision coming through. Wearing this technology can change and empower folks with a new level of understanding of that situation, which allows for better eye pointing, head movements towards the right person at the right time, and an understanding of where precisely people are sat. Simple things that we do believe in the future that could have a really big impact on the learning that is so crucial to being empowered as a person with a disability, a person with blindness and low vision. All of our efforts, all of what we do is on the back of your feedback and on the back of the partnership that we have with ACB. I am proud to call Eric Bridges a friend who holds me accountable at all times, who drives me forward, and is constantly elevating your voice. It is so important to us to continue that voice. If you're sitting there and you're wondering, hey, what about, could I? Do not ever hesitate to contact Disability Answer Desk. We are there and ready to field any and all of your requests, of your questions and sort of ideas for the future. It is staffed by some of the most amazing humans, and I'm very proud and honored that I get to work with people like Crystal Jones and Kelly Ford and Sean Merrihew that staff some of this, and the many, many, many others on this team. And also do check out all the resources that we continually are growing off Microsoft.com/accessibility. That includes webinars, that includes different content and advice portals as we work to make it easier, not just within our products, but for you to get all the information you need to understand what is in those products as you're scanning around and looking for it all. I'm grateful for what we do every day. I'm grateful that the ACB is still holding this wonderful event, albeit in a slightly different format. And I encourage you all to go and check out the exhibition. We're there, many others are there. And stay in touch, folks. Accessibility's never been more important, and our partnership is a key part of that. Have a wonderful, wonderful conference. Thank you to all of you, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.